Hi, my name is Julie Anderson. I got a good response from the last video that I made where I introduced myself and reacted to a video when I was in Mon 8. I was an MLM Hunbot, and I was also in another commercial cult called Rank Makers. It was a MLM specific coaching group. So I was in both for 5 years, and I did a lot of content over the 5 years I was in. I was one of the people that, you hear everybody say, I went all in. I think everybody goes all in. I don't think anybody is like, no, I didn't go all in. Every time you hear somebody talk about their experience, they're like, I went all in. I was one of the people that did a live video every day, and I did it every day for 3.5 years straight. I didn't miss a day. It wasn't healthy. I thought, oh, I can be consistent because I was consistent in my previous life before MLM as a triathlete. You're consistent, you show up every day, you improve. So I applied a lot of what I was learning inside multi-level marketing to athletics. And I think a lot of people apply what they're learning, they adapt it to make it make sense to them. That's what I think. For me, my purview was triathlon. And I still am blown away that I even exited because I did 18 Ironman distance triathlons. And the reason why I say Ironman distance triathlons is because there's different brands. Ironman is a brand, like Kleenex is a brand of tissue, facial tissue. So there's different companies that put these events on. So it's the same distance. Like if you're in the States, it's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, then you're running a marathon. And you're timed in your transitions too. So when I first got into triathlon, I didn't know how to swim. I didn't have a bike. I had like a cheap mountain bike, but that was it. I had to learn everything. And I ended up, becoming a decent competitive age group athlete. I would win smaller races like sprint, Olympic, and half Ironman, distance races. So anyway, I brought that work ethic to multi-level marketing and showing up every day, prospecting people every day, doing these videos every day. It was easy for me because I already had that background of, training for over like 10 years, doing triathlon, which is really fucking taxing, mentally and physically. Anyway, I'm going to react to one of these videos that I did, and I haven't watched it since 2020. I typed in my Facebook home business because I thought, oh, this should be good because I should be talking about having a home-based business. That was the language that a lot of us used. Instead of talking about multi-level marketing or network marketing, we'd say home-based business or home business. And I don't really know what's going to be in it, but I did see I wrote a little preface of what it's supposed to be about. And it really caught my eye because this is in September of 2020. And I was beginning to wake up. I was beginning to question things because I'd watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix. And I remember that being one of those key things that really stuck out in my mind, questioning, why am I showing up on social media every day? I'm being controlled. At the same time, you have to show up on social media every day to grow your multi-level marketing business. And so I think this should be pretty interesting. And you're going to see the deceptive, manipulative shit that I do, I'm sure, because the same as the last one, I was talking about Mon 8. Ugh. But it's not as bad as I thought. I've been out 2 years. But it's weird looking back at myself. So let's just get this over with. And thank you to everyone who's come across this video. There's been a lot of new people who it was their first piece of content they saw when I reacted to the video of myself in Mon 8. And thank you very much for your feedback and your comments and for liking my content. I don't monetize my content, and that's just a personal choice. Although I've learned that YouTube can just put in ads anyway. It's part of their terms and conditions, but I specifically don't monetize my content. And I've got a variety of reasons for that. If you follow my story or learn any more about me, I think it's kind of self-evident why, because I was so driven to monetize my content. And it's too fucking close to what I did for 5 years. I want to have the freedom to create content however I want to create it, and then to exit and stop doing it whenever I want. To me, that freedom is more important. And I've had a lot of videos, go viral on TikTok. I've had a video go over 7.5 million. And because I'm in Canada, I wasn't making any money on it anyway. So to me, I think it would be really cool if I did have a video on YouTube just take off, just to fuck with people where they're like, you're not earning any money from it. To me, I'm also Gen X. And then maybe that will explain this part too, where I get more enjoyment from that alone, like just to create cognitive dissonance, perhaps with people still in multi-level marketing, that somebody could be doing something without any kind of monetary incentivization. And not that there's anything wrong with anybody incentivizing their content. I support every creator that wants to incentivize or monetize their content. But for me, it's just not for me. And I'm hoping that, maybe me, speaking on this, there's other creators out there too that are like me, that we create for the raw creativity, want to express ourselves. It's healing, it's therapeutic, it's like art therapy. And having that freedom where, I'm not going to be thinking about being not monetized because I say fuck or piss or cunt or shit or cock, whatever. I can just do whatever I want, and then it's a hobby. That's the other thing too. My content is really low quality because when I was in multi-level marketing, you have to be an expert. You have to invest so much time and energy into becoming, better and better. And you need to become 1% better than you were yesterday. And I just want a hobby. And I need to have like a framework that can keep it a hobby. So the audio is shit. I'm not the greatest at editing, and I like it. I like to tinker. Okay, so that being said, welcome. Let's get into this. This was in 2020, and I'm just going to read this through, and then I'm going to shrink it, and I'll be reacting to it like this. So home business update, September 20th, 2020. So this is in the midst of the pandemic. Critically thinking about what industry leaders say, disagreeing with it, having the courage to chart your own course. I think this is interesting because I had to drop out of the 100K Inner Circle coaching program, the cult of rank makers that I was in, because I had lost my job like so many other people did during the pandemic. And I think that's weird that I say critically thinking. Isn't that weird? Day one of reducing my time on social media, what actions I've taken, what the struggles are. 3, starting conversations with my team, clients, friends, and world at large about the social dilemma on Netflix and how I'm navigating my way through this. The social dilemma played a part in helping me wake up. There's so many things that helped. I find I repeat myself at times too. I've been looking back at some of my videos. I say things twice, one after the other. Sometimes I wonder if that's part of deprogramming from being so frantic and trying to get all this information out and get it out correctly. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Let's just watch this video. Hi, my name is Julie Anderson. Thank you for being here. So this is a home business update. I'm going to share with you my struggle. It's a 10-minute video. I'm going to pause it quite frequently to comment on it. I'd always speak very quickly, and we were coached to have a lot of energy, and the faster you move, the more quickly you speak. It's giving that sense, that impression that you're very busy, that you have better things that you could be doing, that you've just got to get through this because you're so important. You've got to grow your empire, your network marketing business. And I think it's interesting. I think I remembered what I was going to say. How I mentioned that I'm sharing with my team and my friends because I wanted to help my team. I really believed what I was part of was a real business opportunity. I really believed that if we all worked hard on our mindset, that we could all have financial freedom. And so anytime I'd learn something, I'd want to share it with my team, And I did share this information with my team even when I woke up, and a lot of them didn't want to hear what I had to say. Some of them left. Thank God. Some of them left right away with me. Some left shortly after. Some went to another company. Some are still in Mon 8, and some think I'm a hater, and I had to block some of them too because they came after me on social media, harassing me, just like, you're a hater, wouldn't stop, wouldn't fucking leave me alone. There were rank makers as well. It's what happens when you leave a cult, but it was still, you hear these stories and you think, oh no, my story is going to be different. And it's not different. The same things happen because cult behavior is predictable. And I hope they get out. I hope they all get out one day. Those my challenges. I don't want to say struggles. I want to self-correct. You can't say, look at that. Always, this is toxic positivity. Everything that you say, you can attract negativity and scarcity and lack into your life by just the words that you speak. In Rank Makers, we were coached that you get to keep what you speak. If you say, I'm having a challenge, then just add to the end of that, and I get to keep that. So look at that. I'm self-editing and correcting myself all the time. This is 11 seconds into this video. And I'm like, oh no, it's not a struggle, it's a challenge. I mean, you can call it a struggle. You can call a pothole, not a slight depression. Challenges, things that I've learned and like where I'm at right now. So the first thing that I got to point out too, I'm wearing a shirt here. I was pushing back against the cult land, the cult universe. I had started on TikTok and I was running this thing called the emoji game, which I referenced in my previous video on Mon 8 when I was reacting to myself. So I'd be on TikTok and I would go live and I wouldn't do this culty shit. I was like doing my own thing. And I would say, drop a broccoli and or a unicorn if you want to play the emoji game. And the emoji game would be, I would just shout out random emojis and people would, drop the emojis. And then I'd say, congratulations, Julie, you're number 1. Number 2 is this person. And I would be able to read everybody's names really, really quickly because I was like frantic turbo MLM Hunbot speed anyway. So it was kind of it worked well over on TikTok when I was reading everybody's names and their usernames and their comments. And we just had so much fun fucking around. So I had merch for a time. It didn't last. It totally tanked. It was like, people liked it, but the person I was getting it shipped through, it was fucking horrible. Last order I placed, I didn't get any of it. Tried to reach out to them, nothing. I was just fucking ghosted. I had sent a parcel to another person. They never got it either. So, and then somebody else had ordered something and I had to reimburse them out of my own money, right? And I'm like, fuck. But it was the people that did get it, they really liked it. I still have the stuff. It was excellent quality. So anyway, there's a unicorn on it, broccoli all around it, and it says #diddly squat because one of the awards that I would give people for participating in the emoji game, a virtual award, was diddly squat, which means nothing. I would say, you get nothing for participating in this because there is no point of this. The point of this is that there is no point. It's just to have fun. So I was really pushing back against multi-level marketing and being in a cult, being controlled without really, like I was realizing it, but not really realizing it. I don't know. It's really weird. So I'm wearing that shirt, that's kind of like a fuck you, I'm not wearing a Rank Maker shirt. I'm not wearing Mon 8. I'm wearing my own. There's 3 things that I want to share with you today. This might help you if you are thinking of starting a home business or if you're already in a home business. Sometimes it just helps to connect with people that are like-minded. I look so gaunt and I do look pressured. There was a comment on my last video that said haunted pressure. And like, that's totally it. I speak so fast too. You don't even have to speed up the old videos I made. This is on Facebook and I've changed all the settings on my videos on Facebook to friends only. Not making these things public yet. You're going to have to watch them when I react to them. And maybe talk about things that nobody else is talking about. Because that's what I find a lot of. I find I'm like smack dab in the middle of like voicing so much stuff that everybody is afraid to actually articulate out loud. Even people within the industry anyways. Within the industry. And you know what? I've seen other people in multi-level marketing as they start to wake up say the same thing. You think I'm gonna be the one. I see a problem. I'm going to start pointing out the contradictions. And it's a well-worn path that we all take out. It seems to be that you realize that there's a problem, and then you dare to start, if you're creating content, if you're one of those people that starts to say there's something wrong with this industry, maybe you might hop from one MLM to another, or maybe you make content like this, or you're having a team meeting and you're like, I'm going to say something that is unpopular. And everybody does this. Everybody knows this happens. That's like on your way out. And then the next stage is that, well, maybe if I say something, maybe if they knew, if the leaders, if the CEO of the company actually knew this, they would change. That lasts for a little while. And then you realize that you're a small cog in a big, huge machine, that they know that that's how these companies run. They've known all along. And that's a really hard pill to swallow, because you think that there's no way people would abuse people and defraud them, psychologically fuck with them, that people choose to do this. And never mind the scale, that comes next. That'll come later. You're kind of like, it's your company, maybe a couple of other companies. That's hard enough. And then the longer, the more you critically think, the more you start realizing, oh no, what have I been a part of? Then you realize, oh my God, all of multi-level marketing. Oh my God, all the way back since Amway, decades. Oh my God, globally. But we're not there yet. We're just at the part where I'm like, I'm going to say something that nobody really wants to say. Well, why does nobody want to say it? Because you're in a cult. You're in one of many commercial cults. But people are waking up. So this is really interesting for me to see how I wonder what I'm going to say here. So the first thing is critically thinking and questioning what industry leaders say, and having the courage to chart your own course. So fuck, I'm going to start throwing some shade at someone. This is owned industry leader. Oh fuck, please let it be fucking Higdon. This is something that has really landed with. Am I doing this in 2020 already? Me, especially when COVID hit, right? So when COVID landed in March, and I didn't even know there was such a thing called toxic positivity, but I could sense the bullshit. It reeked coming out of so many people that are great, great trainers, great this, but there's so much bullshit coming out that is just. And so this is the thing, is that when COVID first hit, there was a lot of people that have a lot of they're set. Everybody has their struggles in that, but it's not. Look at this. So this is September 2020. I didn't exit until December 2021. Almost a year later, a year until September, so October, November, December. Through a year and 3 months later, I exited. So this could potentially be an indication. If you see somebody in a multi-level marketing starting to talk like this, it could maybe take a year and 3 months for them too, or a year. I don't know. I'd like to see some data being collected about the exiting process, the waking up process. And I think it'll keep changing because more and more of us are speaking out, but I'm blown away that I was saying this already. Fuck, people must, if anybody was watching me, they must have been like, you're almost there. I wonder if anybody was. I wonder if there's anybody in anti-MLM that was like, she's so close. I really fucking wonder that. Not that if they lose their job, they're going to they don't have a place to live, which I have had friends who now lost, where they were living. They didn't have food. They couldn't buy food. They were in serious trouble, right? This is true. So this is so weird to hear myself talk about toxic positivity too. But I wasn't aware that I was I'm starting to see. And it was because of COVID. I saw the shit hit the fan in March, 2020. Holy fuck. I was on TikTok a lot then. There was we'd say TikTok saves lives. I don't know if you were on TikTok during that time. It was a different platform. It was not like it is now. You hear that about everything. It was so much better back in the day, but it really was. It was way more of a community. People were pulling together, helping each other out, just supporting each other, mental health wise. It was such a good support system for people being isolated, physically isolated. I was doing these lives on TikTok. It ended up, I had quite the community around me supporting me, and the core people that would show up during every live. And we even made a Facebook group called TikTok Family. And we had there were my moderators. It was really awesome. And one of them ended up being a good friend, and I need to fucking call her. Her name's Natalie. She would always, she'd always show up, and we'd work together and structure my live videos. So what I would, not on Facebook, but on TikTok, especially during the pandemic, we would have a chill session where we would just talk about a certain topic. And then I would, so we would have, Monday would be mental health, fucking whatever, or it would just be like any kind of topic, or talking about your favorite book or movie or whatever. So each day of the week, because I was doing this 7 days a week. And then this didn't even include what the fuck I was doing over on Facebook and Instagram. And this had nothing on TikTok. It had nothing to do with multi-level marketing. Every once in a while, like my Hun bot, I think would like come through, but mostly I was trying to like be free over there. Then the second part, I believe, of that would be I would read a book. I don't know if I would read first. Anyway, that would kind of be, I would either read part of a book. So it was like a literacy session just to be read to. And then this chill session where I'd talk for like 45 minutes with people. And then we would play the emoji game. So this thing could go like 2 hours, easy, or longer. I was doing that every day. And there was people on there as we would be talking. People were really suffering, all over the world because of this, the isolation. They had family members pass away that they couldn't go see, they couldn't say goodbye, and I was seeing how people like in rank makers, in Monet, in network marketing, there was not that acknowledgement of what that was going on. It was like, learn a new language, put your head down and work hard for the next 3 months. This isn't going to last. It was so jarring. Like that really helped me to start seeing, it's like, wait a second. I see that this is incorrect. I see a contradiction in this. And what was this whole pervasive thing, especially at the onset of COVID, and it's still happening, is like there's these people, right, which are typically old white men that have had their only issue they have going on right now is like, oh, my thing is canceled. My conference is canceled. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll have to stay at home, right? And it's like, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to exercise and I'm going to lose weight. And that's what I've done. And it's like, meanwhile, the pants I have are fucking fabulous, by the way. They're like cats in space. They're leggings. I can't even believe I'm saying this was September 2020. It took me another year to get out, and I'm already. Oh, I was mad. Ooh. Reality. So just bear with me here. The reality is, like, I remember going for a walk one Friday afternoon, and I walked by my neighbor. Okay, I've got to place in a trigger warning right now. And this is another event that happened. So if you have had someone in your life, or there's any topic about unaliving, please, I'll put a time stamp in, or I'll put the time in to fast forward to this part. And I'm also going to put in some information about the number to call if you're feeling like you need help. Because I've learned of something called the Werther effect, that if you even discuss suicide, that it can, like having it aired on TV or hearing about a celebrity or a friend, there's this thing called this Werther effect, that it's like more people can also commit suicide. There's something that happens. And I was unaware of that because, there's people who are like, oh, I don't want to say a trigger warning, but there's a reason why, especially around this topic, it's so sensitive. And so anyway, I'm going to talk about that. So just a heads up. House 3 doors down. He had killed himself. His truck was running. I didn't notice it. I walked by him. Young man, 25 years old, in my community, right? And so you have somebody, sort of sitting there. It's like, well, this is the time for leaders. It's like this peacocking up. And it's like, this is what I was saying today, is that it's so Fuck, this is intense. My other video, I was saying every video I did, everything in multi-level marketing, especially if you're in rank makers, everything was triggering. But I can see why I was so rattled. This is another thing that started making me wake up. I walked by the kid, you know? I didn't even notice that his truck was running, you know? Fuck, I can't even believe this. I can't even believe this is the video. It's like basically every video has something in it, but this one. And so then you have to attend each daily live video to keep growing your network marketing business, because during the pandemic, this is the time when businesses explode. Do you know how many leaders are going to be made? How many millionaires are going to be made? Meanwhile, there's like everyday regular people that aren't cult leaders, aren't malignant narcissists, aren't abusing people, that you're really believing in something. And I walked by this guy. Like, I fucking walked by the house. I'm like, if I hadn't have been, I know it's not my responsibility, but you know how much it just affects you when you walk by someone. Fuck, I can't even believe this. So maybe I shouldn't even do this video. Anyway, you have one of these experiences on top of all this other shit that you're seeing online, you know, with this community of people. And then you have this other experience where somebody has passed away. I don't know their reasons, you know. And it might not have mattered if I hadn't done anything, but I didn't see, and they were my neighbor, you know. They were a few doors down from me. And you see people in network marketing speaking so disparaging, so flippant, so the disregard for human life, you know, and of what people are struggling through, like mental health. This is it, but even so, even with all of this is just the tip of the iceberg too. The interviews I've done and shit. I got a list of them on Instagram. I have a link. I have a link in my bio where I have all my interviews that I've done, and I share a lot of stuff. More and more memories keep coming up, but this is just one fucking video in one day, 10-minute video when I was in 5 years, but over a 3.5-year period of doing those live videos. Oh my God. This shit is heavy. So bad. It's so toxic that it's actually kicking somebody when they're down. That's not leadership. Leadership isn't talking about how great you were back in the day or what other people should or shouldn't do. Leadership is meeting people where they're at and giving them a hand up, not kicking them when they're down. I was waking up. I was waking the fuck up, and I was mad. You can see that rage too. That rage unleashed when I got out in 2021 and rolled into 2022. That rage can fuel a person, and it's important that it does, you know. It's part of healing. It's part of the process. And rightfully so. It's a good fucking thing I was getting mad, because that was atrocious behavior. Every day showing up in Rank Makers, watching the Ray daily. And he was kicking people when they were down. And that's what I saw at the onset of COVID. And I still see it happening on this thing. So then what happens is that people are so fragile and so vulnerable that all they need is someone to hear them. That's it. They don't need the advice. They don't need to know, how shitty they are, how poor of a leader they are, because they're not as amazing as you, and I was totally talking about fucking Ray. But I was like, I couldn't say it yet. And it still took over a year for me to speak out. And I don't know the first time when I actually said his name, because I had to get the courage up for that. It's funny. I was talking with my friend Erin Bees, and she had mentioned, it's funny how it's like everybody was terrified to say his name. Now everybody says his name, no problem. Everything here is the truth. I was fucking seeing it. And I was mad, and rightfully so, because I was finally seeing through the bullshit. I was seeing through the control. I was seeing through how manipulative and how exploitative and how abusive what I had been a part of was. And it's still going on right now, where instead of valuing human life, all the things that you join multi-level marketing for, that we're serving people, that you're going to be there for people, and it's all a lie. It's actually the reverse. It's upside down. It's the ultimate mind fuck. It's all about hurting people and controlling them and abusing them. People will say, you don't understand, Julie, I like to buy my doTERRA oils. Oh my, do you have a lot to learn? Can't, it's not a matter of knuckling under or like doing more. It's a matter of just stopping talking and having empathy. More empathy, less freaking judgment, right? That's the first thing, is critically thinking. Fucking rights. This is a good video. Good for you. I'm happy. You know what? I'm proud of myself that I was starting to wake up at this point, I'm wearing my fucking space kitten tights and my diddly squat shirt. I'm calling out the bullshit. Second thing is that reducing time on social media. I just watched The Social Dilemma last night on Netflix. It's completely changed me. It's affected me. I've spoken with members of my team who have also watched it. Their core is rattled as well. I think of this. If you've been in multi-level marketing, you will understand. No, you know what? Maybe if you even haven't, there's so many. I've been so surprised at the empathy and understanding from people who have never been in an MLM and haven't even really been interested in it. And then they understand, they get it. So thank you for that. There's something that your whole world has been about being online, and that it's so positive. And there are always positive things about it, but when you're confronted with like facts, statistics, reality, and it gets through, it got through to my gut. I thought, I am being manipulated. I am being controlled. I didn't yet see just the extent of it, especially being involved in multi-level marketing, but it certainly landed by watching The Social Dilemma. And immediately I wanted to tell my team, because you want to protect people. You want to help people. You're in this together. That's the whole thing of being in network marketing. You can't rise unless you help others rise with you. That's what we believe. And at the same time, you're getting coaching from your uplines, from your company, from various multi-level marketing companies, that you're worthless, that you shouldn't listen to any negativity because that's going to limit your growth. Right away, you're self-sabotaging yourself. You need to tell me your trauma, your childhood abuse. Hopefully you've had some. And don't worry, we'll dig around in there. We'll find something, some kind of trauma that we can exploit. And we want you to tell us these details, because then we're going to control you with that. We're going to teach you how to emotionally manipulate people by telling you when to cry and when to pull it back in, when to be louder, and then when to just reel it back in. So then you can use that vulnerability to then really reach people who are just like you, who have been abused like you, who've experienced trauma like you, and you can recruit them to your multi-level marketing company. And that's how you change lives. So you can imagine the effect that I may actually seeing COVID hits. I get out of this coaching program, which is taking even more of my time. I'm seeing shit go down around me. It's rattled me. And then I watched The Social Dilemma. Fuck, I was waking up hard. So that'll be on my third one. So the second thing, I've chosen to reduce my time on social media. And so what I did today is, as soon as I woke up, so my plan moving forward is I'm not going to have my phone on. I'm going to attempt to leave my phone off until noon. And I learned this one from Rich Roll. So we'll see, today I had actually a phone call with a really good friend. So I turned it on at 9 because I had to speak with her, right? But so what I did is I went into Facebook first, turned off all on my settings, turned off all notifications, Facebook, TikTok, everything, turned off notifications for Messenger, all of them turned off. went in and I uninstalled Snapchat, I uninstalled Likey, I uninstalled Twitter, I uninstalled all the apps that I don't use. And then I only turned on my phone when I had the phone call with my friend. This is somebody waking up and taking back control. But it still took over a year for me to get out. There's hope. There are hope for your friends and family. That's what I'm saying. I was in fucking deep. And I got out. And then I did some work. I can do it, anybody do it. And then I turned it off. I honestly didn't turn it off. I set it aside and I plugged it in, and then I went away and I was doing other things. I was reading, I went on my bike, and here's what I noticed. I noticed the irresistible urge to go and just check my phone, especially when I was going to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I should just check my phone. And I'm like, and I didn't, but I could. Especially when I go take a shit. You do it too. Feel it. It felt like it's an addiction. I could feel it. And now I'm hyper aware of it. I also noticed before I turned off the notifications, it was just like in that movie, The Social Dilemma. Facebook was sending me these random notifications. Like I wasn't on it right away. So it was like sending me these things, trying to get me in. And I'm like, I feel like I've woken up from the Matrix, and now I'm aware, and I do not like the feeling of being manipulated. So I can feel. Holy shit! This video is a gem. I can't even believe this. I just typed in home business, and this was the video that I found. The first video that came up that I did. Holy shit. Feel it in me. And so what I plan to do tomorrow is not turn on my phone until noon, and then I'm going to get to work. So what I'm planning on doing is like biking, reading, just living my life. And then at noon, I'm going to get to work, and then I'm going to like turn it off. So that's where I'm feeling my way through it. So look at, I'm like starting to pull away from network marketing. And this is not watching the daily live video first thing in the morning in Rank Makers either. I'm like really pulling away. Wow. Third thing is sharing this information with the world at large. It has been so well received. Oh my gosh. So I did a Facebook live video yesterday, and I've had such great conversations. The comments are awesome. People had already, knew this. They've been working on it in their own lives or whatever. They're sharing their experiences. I did a piece of content on TikTok, and lots of feedback on that as well. A lot of people sent me a message privately. They also commented. They're like, I downloaded it. I watched it with my daughters, right? And it was like, it's been amazing. I made a special video on Instagram, because for me, it's like, I know how much work I was doing. This is like, I'm one of those people that go fucking all in. And I'm capable of a lot of output too. It's my nature, but like how I'm speaking about it, like I'm not doing, this doesn't count as work. This is like bonus extra. I'm like, I decided to go on TikTok and I made this, and then I was answering all these messages. I'm having all this content, these conversations with people, and then I'm having great conversations with people on Facebook, and then I go onto Instagram and I did a live video there. And then I've had like, and this is one day. This doesn't count yesterday's video, because keep in mind, I'm still doing a daily live video. Even though now I've got this plan of starting at noon. I guess I didn't remember this. I recognize the irony of me complaining about addictive technology while I'm using the addictive technology. Where is my role in this? I have a business in this. Am I also part of the manipulation by creating content that is easily consumed and addictive to watch? Like, I get it. I'm like grappling with and being the manipulator, but I wasn't there yet. I had part of it though. It's true. All this stuff, right? I'm like, do I just unplug forever? Or what do I do? Right. So I was just totally open. And she did unplug in it was March 2021. I stopped doing a live video every day. And the next day, Ray made a live video about me, because you can't do shit like that when you're in a fucking cult. You threaten the doctrine. You threaten everybody. You threaten the teachings. This is very interesting looking back at this, being 2 years out. And honest and vulnerable on Instagram, and I said, this is what I'm going through. Awesome feedback there. Local high school teacher commented and said, this is amazing. She's actually going to be sharing, she's going to share the social dilemma with her class. How awesome is that? Another woman said that she had watched it last night with her 8-year-old daughter, and her 8-year-old daughter said, that's really creepy. So you know what's so funny is with this, I'm so excited and I'm sharing things that I really want to share, and I'm not monetizing it, right? I probably have a call to action at the end of this. But this is what drives so many people when they're in network marketing, when they're in MLM. We really want to help people. It's really great to help people. So we think, oh, we can help people and make money. And as soon as you learn something, then you're going to share it. That's what I was taught in Rank Makers. He called it ILT, invest, learn, teach. You invest your time and money into learning, into something, a course, a book, watching a Netflix show. You learn, you take notes, and then you teach it. So stupid. And then I've done other videos on this too. And then he was adding invest, learn, teach, edify, again, using the word incorrectly. That would mean just crediting the person that you got the information from or the source. And then whatever the fuck it was, ILTE. It just got more and more convoluted. But ILT is still going strong in Rank Makers, invest, learn, teach. So I was doing that, invest, learn, teach. I hope I don't have a call to action at the end of this. It will probably happen. It'll be more cringe. So I just got goosebumps because it's so powerful that there's so much good in social media, right? There's so much. I know for me, and I want to end with this, is that it's easy to blame and stuff like that. But the thing is that this is actually happening. So it's not just a matter of doing more personal development and then you're going to elevate yourself above it. You're not. We're all being manipulated, right? So if you're in a I was right there. Oh, good for you. Good for you, Julie. I'm glad I got this video. There's that Mon 8 one was fucking cringe. This one I'm proud. I'm still brainwashed, but I'm waking up. You can see, I've got the black dot eyes, but by gad, I'm seeing through shit and I'm calling it out. Little did they know what was going to happen a mere 1 year and 3 months later. Part of it, you're being manipulated. And the sooner you admit it, the better that you can sort of come to terms with things, right? So now where in the heck was I going with this? I have no idea what I was going to say. Oh, the positive stuff. So the positive stuff is that I know for me about 3.5 years ago, I was really, for most of a big chunk of my life, I was really addicted to pity party trips. I would be, oh, fuck. So this is not true. I've talked about this in another video when I was, my first video when I was speaking about Rank Makers, like the mind fuckery that is Rank Makers. This is one of the trainings that I saw Ray do that hooked me. And I've since learned this story of a narcissist, which all cult leaders are, destructive cult leaders are malignant narcissists. And this fucker is for sure, since now he believes he's a prophet. The damage that this man has done, the exploitation, the fucking abuse that is well documented and it is public for the world to see, which I've reacted to and many other excellent anti-MLM creators have courageously reacted to, what I'm referring to is his reality show. That it was called a reality show. And it's still here on YouTube. It's up on Facebook as well, called Play to Win. The pity party trip, I remember. I saw a training, and it was early on that he did. And it was something like you're addicted to feeling sorry for yourself. And that's how you're self-sabotaging yourself. So the story, oh yeah, I remember it now, is that a malignant narcissist, it's like you're on a boat, they'll throw you off the boat, and then they'll throw you the lifesaver and then pull you back in. And then you're so grateful that they saved you. They didn't save you. They threw you off to begin with. That's such a good description. That's really conveys, how I feel, because it's not true. And I remember, I wasn't addicted to feeling sorry for myself. It's like an abuser will tell that to someone in order to not take any accountability for anything that they do and blame it on their victims. It is malicious, it's intentional, and it's dark. And it's still going on. And it's gone on for years. And it's gone on with thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, because people, leaders in multi-level marketing, hired Ray, and they in turn taught their downlines. And it's still going on. You never know what you're going to get with one of these videos, you know? They'd be on TikTok. Why aren't you smiling and lip syncing anymore? All your videos used to be so happy. I was like, because I woke up, I realized I was in a cult. I'm a whistleblower of this fucking cult. Everything, oh, woe is me. Oh, well, I would like to. I'd always do these stupid comments, right? And I just didn't. And that's not true. This is something else that I wanted to go back to, is that this is something that I spoke about with my psychologist after I realized, okay, this recovering from being involved in rank makers and Mon 8, I don't have the skills. I need to, just like I did in triathlon, I'm going to get strong so I can fight back. And that's what I did. But this time I didn't go for pseudoscience bullshit. I went to an actual professional. And I brought this up about this this training, and about how I was like hooked in with this, about, oh, feeling sorry for myself, that, oh, woe is me. Most people just feel sorry for themselves. In rank makers, there's this real contempt for people, that they're everybody is just less than, that they're just, you just are such a victim mindset. Like it's just dripping with contempt. And I bought into that. And it keeps you feeling like there's something wrong with you, that you're such a small, terrible, horrible person. Can you imagine, like, this is how you have to feel powerful? This is how you get off, is by making people feel like there's something wrong with them, and that they need to buy your stupid courses in order to what? Visualize that they're going to get a new car or go on a trip to Jamaica or whatever. This is me. So it's like, you see, I'm waking up, but then there's also the heavy indoctrination. I haven't seen myself go on about this. This is going to be really uncomfortable. It's not going to be funny like it was with the Mon 8 one, that's for sure. Even have the awareness that I was doing it until I got into doing network marketing. And there we go. I didn't even know I was doing it until I got into network marketing. That's because I wasn't doing it. That's because nobody does it. That's because they take you off the boat, throw you in the water, and then as you're drowning, oh, here's a lifesaver. Good thing I saved you. There's all these things wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not worthless. You are valuable exactly as you are. There's nothing wrong with your mindset that needs to be fixed from being in multi-level marketing. These concepts that we learn about personal development leadership are distorted. They are used to take your internal moral compass, your agency of control, and give it away to someone else. True leadership, true training, research-based leadership training is about going back within, not going without. You can always learn. It's about keeping learning, but it comes back to what feels right for me, what makes sense to me. But in multi-level marketing, that's the fundamental distinction that hitherto I have ascertained that is the fundamental difference, is that you're giving your agency of control. I don't even know if I'm using this right, but it's external. You have to look for permission. I didn't even know I had this until I was in network marketing. Thank God I did. I didn't realize how broken and messed up I was until I joined network marketing. All the shit we say, it's right there. Right out there. I was saying it. And it's like, I was saying it, but I didn't see it. I was seeing big pieces of it, but wow. And I hope you're doing okay right now. I hope you're doing okay. This is really rough. I was going to be like, Julie, next time, just please react to a Mon 8 video. I can't screen these videos. There's no way. This is just, it's too much for me. It's going to be, I'm going to pick a video and it'll be like rolling the dice, whatever we get. It's pretty much going to be horrible, I think. Thank God, like I got into rank makers, and that was the first time I heard anybody like speak or train on being addicted to like getting off on feeling bad for yourself. See? The first time I've ever heard of it, when in fact, it's the getting off of abusing people. I'd never heard of it until I got into rank makers. You cannot even make this shit up. I love that this is all documented and the evidence is all there. It's not just me. There's thousands of us, thousands of people. Oh, this is so disturbing. We have a minute and 40 seconds to get through. That landed. I'm like, that's me. That's what I'm doing. So like, thank goodness, I know one of my personality traits is that I really like to be called out on my bullshit. I really like. This is how you can be manipulated. So keep in mind, I was like a competitive age group triathlete. I want to know if I'm doing something incorrect. Like if there's a way that you can tell me how to improve my swim stroke, maybe I should kick harder and then that somehow balances out the front end, whatever the fuck it is. Like I want to know. But you can see how that concept then is like, well, you know what? You're selfish and you are addicted to feeling sorry for yourself. So that means you need to buy my course. You see how that one concept that exists outside of multi-level marketing is distorted. So when they say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, it's really hard. I'm still working through this because while this exists outside of multi-level marketing, it is everything is so tainted and distorted that it's not just a matter of like, oh yeah, this was good and I'm just going to keep the good and I'm going to throw out the bad. You can't separate it. It is forever changed. I don't yet have the words to describe it, but it's a lot more fucking complicated than being like, oh, I'm going to keep this and I'm going to keep this and I'm going to throw that out. No. This shit has like fundamentally, my personality changed. I hurt people. I manipulated people. I recruited people. I targeted people. And all the while, I didn't even realize I was doing it. I believed I was helping people. I didn't even see it. Look at in this video, what I'm talking about. There's things I'm seeing, but yet at the same time, I'm not seeing it. This is fucking brainwashing. And then there's this whole thing of everything is your fault. Everything is your responsibility. Another, it's like leadership. Like you need to take accountability for things. Oh, great concept on its own. Great concept outside of the cult. But then what happened with me, as soon as I began speaking out, content was made about me in rank makers. Ray fucking talking about how the person that calls out abuse is the abuser. So just think of how fucked up that is. And you have thousands of rank makers all believing this to be true. The person that says, you are abusing me, you are abusing this person. No, you're actually the abuser. People believe it. So how do you say, oh, I'm going to just take this and take that away and now I'm good, I'm whole? No way. Not for me. Like it. I'm like, oh yes, right? And it freed me. And that wouldn't have happened had I not been on social media. I wouldn't have met some of my dearest friends. It didn't free me, it entrapped me. And that wouldn't have happened had I been on social media. I wish I hadn't been on social media. I've met some of my dearest friends. This is something else that I want to say. I don't agree with, for me, the expression, I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't gone through this. To me, it's hollow and it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, you don't know, you're just making an assumption. How do you know what would happen if you didn't go through this experience? The same shit could have happened. You don't know. Nobody knows. We don't have the window to the alternative universes, the alternative realities. To me, it's just surface level, glossing it over. And for me, it's not enough, because it's not addressing the real root shit that's going on, I regret everything. I think it's disingenuous to say that you have no regrets or just to brush it under the carpet. I think you're not dealing with your shit. And I think you're at risk for getting sucked into something else. And I think you put others at risk too. That's what I think. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't be on social media. If I could go back in time, there's no fucking way I would sign up for Mon 8. I would meet other people. I would have other experiences then. It's not like, oh, I would miss all these people. Well, maybe I'd have way better relationships. Like, there's just this assumption that this way I just need to be happy and grateful for my experiences. I'm not happy and grateful for my experiences. I am not happy and grateful for the abuse. I am not happy and grateful for the abuse that my friends suffered and still go through. I regret it all. Given another chance, fuck, I'd turn left instead of right so fast it would make your head spin. That's just me. Friends, had it not been for social media. So, I mean, it's never black and white, right? But anyway, there you go. That's my home business update. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm reducing my time, getting just clear. One more thing that I had to say about the home business update is that we were tasked when we were in Rank Makers, we were given suggestions about what topics to do our live videos on. And one of them would be do a home business update. That was an idea. So I would use that as, sometimes it would be assigned for your daily task, but sometimes, over the years, I would just be like, oh, now would be a good video to do for a home business update. So that would be in my repertoire of videos. Posting, and then we're going to see how it goes. But people, someone has to start training on this. Somebody has to start training on this, because nobody is talking about this. And this is such a huge gap, because it's a cult. That's why nobody's training on it. So here, you see people just like I was in 2020, think that we have found the reason. We have found the reason why this industry has such a bad name. They know. That's why nobody's training on this. It's why nobody is telling you to stay off social media when you're in Rank Makers or when you're in your multi-level marketing company. They'll say if you miss a day or 3 days, you'll be behind 3 months. They put the fear into you that you can't even take a moment off, yet you're supposed to be having time freedom, sacrificing your family's time now, which you will never get back. Your kids aren't going to be thanking you in the future for ignoring them for a future time with what? You're going to buy them something? They don't want your fucking presence. They want your love. They want your attention right now. These money, presents, it doesn't mean anything. You can't take that shit with you when you go. The only appeal is this fake, glossy lifestyle that is multi-level marketing. Oh my God, this is so brutal. I apologize if you're still here and you're like, okay, this is another live video reaction or a video reaction that we're gonna see, and it's like this is just taking a turn. But I think that most of the videos are like this, honestly. I don't know how many more of these I can do. Let's see what the feedback is. This one just might be like, no more. Gap in misunderstanding. And if we're just going to turn a blind eye, we're just going to pretend it doesn't exist. This is why people aren't able to stay focused. It's not that they don't have the organizational skills or the time slot. It's because it is it's put it's created to get you to keep scrolling and addictive. It's like you're fighting against AI, thousands of engineers doing it. It's like the game is rigged and nobody's training on this. It's all about, oh, well, you should do this and you should do this. It's like, Well, why do people still keep feeling awful about themselves and they can't seem to get out of it, right? Well, and this is another part of being in multi-level marketing where they just don't give a shit. Like, it's even better if you are, you're already on social media, you're already being buffeted about by the winds of the algorithm. You're spending so much time on there. It kind of like plays in their favor. However, now with the growing anti-MLM movement, it's also playing against them, because the same algorithms that deliver content are delivering anti-MLM content to people. And I've had several people reach out to me that came across my content and other anti-MLM creators' content, and it's been helping them waking up, exit. It's not just one piece of content, it's a whole variety of things. Just like, there's so many things, so many experiences that added up to helping me finally realize what I was a part of and then wake up and get out. But they're not talking about this at all because it's not important. But they want to sell you things. It's like, are you feeling depressed about your home-based business? Do you find that you don't have enough hours in the day? Well, you need to buy our new planner. This is going to completely revolutionize your home-based business. Not even addressing one of the biggest things is just like being on social media, This is why. So I really hope that this, I'm going to do my best. I have it now. Now it's like it's unleashed, right? As soon as there's all these things that I see that people aren't talking about, and so I have to talk about it because that's just who I am. So thank you so much. Feel free to share this. I love you. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. That's something else I regret saying that. Like, oh fuck! No comment. I hope this helps you, and yeah, have a wonderful evening. Bye. Okay, so hi, my name is Julie Anderson. This is important. This was because I had stopped doing the call to action. So that was another way of me pushing back. And it might be, you're like, well, is it really that big a deal? It is a big deal. You're supposed to have a call to action at the end of every video. Otherwise, what's the point of doing a live video? We were told in Rank Makers that videos that didn't have a call to action and versus videos that did have a call to action, you would have so many more leads coming in if you had this call to action. And I know I did, well, I did it in this video, but I know I did it in other ones too. I remembered not doing a call to action. And I remember even saying, I'm not doing a call to action, being just bold, because I didn't want people to reach out to me and try to use the content that I was making to try to get a sale, to try to recruit them. I just wanted to help people. Here I am on the outside of this, and I still just want to fucking help people, You can't help people unless you help yourself. And so anyway, that might give you some more context into how I approach making content, why I don't want to monetize it, with like a brief glimpse into this of my past. So that was 2020. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.